Well, good evening, everyone. So great to see so many people here. Wow, for a concert of brass music. Very, very cool. We are members of the National Symphony Orchestra and the Washington National Opera Kennedy Center Opera House Orchestra. My name is David Murray. I'm a trombonist with the National Symphony, and I'm joined on stage with my NSO colleagues, trumpets Michael Harper and Tim McCarthy, James Nickel horn, and then the principal tuba of the Kennedy Center Opera House Orchestra, Seth Cook. And we are going to present for you four pieces that are original compositions for this instrumentation, the brass quintet. Not a super common form of chamber music. You know, most people think of string quartets or things with pianos and all sorts of wonderful pieces like that. But of course, we have a particular affinity to it because of what we play. But it's a very wonderful, rich sound with so many colors and excitement, melodies, cantabile, all sorts of interesting journeys that we're going to be taking today. The piece that we started off with is a relatively new composition by composer Zhou Tian, who is professor of composition in Michigan State University. I'm very happy to be bringing this piece to the ensemble because Zhou and I were schoolmates together at the Curtis Institute of Music when we were in college. And I think he's actually listening right now. So Zhou, thanks for the piece. We enjoyed playing it for you. The piece is called Night Shining White, and it's a depiction of a painting that is hanging in the Met Museum in New York. The painting is over 1,200 years old, and it depicts a horse that was the same name, Night Shining White, and it was the favorite of the emperor in China at that time, and he loved the horse so much that he wanted to have this painting created in memory to the horse. And Zhou thought that the medium of a brass quintet brings about the richness and vitality that you can see in the painting hanging in the museum itself. The next piece that we're going to play is Sonatine by Eugène Bozza. Eugène Bozza is a French composer from the 20th century and mostly known for writing pieces for wind instruments. Various combinations of solos and solos with piano, small chamber ensembles like this, both woodwind and brass. And his writing is very idiomatic, lots of exciting rhythms, wonderful soft melodies, moments of gentleness, moments of fury. This sonatine does a little bit of everything. It's in 4 movements, and we hope you enjoy it.
Well, thank you all for coming today. It's great to see such a large, healthy crowd out there. I'm Michael Harper, and I have been playing trumpet with the NSO since last summer. Very happy to be here. That piece, the Bozza Sonatine, it's very special to me for a variety of reasons. It's very sentimental, which I'll get into in a second, but it's also, I think, a really great example of what the brass quintet can do. When it was written in 1951, the brass quintet as a chamber ensemble in this configuration had just barely begun to form. As Dave alluded to, there is not a lot of repertoire written for these 5 instruments, and it's really special to get to play a concert of music entirely written for this configuration. Normally we get to play arrangements of other things and other sorts of things that aren't as exciting as a Mozart string quartet, for example. So when Bozza wrote that piece, it really stretched the limits of what brass players could do technically and musically at the time. And 13 years ago, it also stretched the limits of what I and Tim could do. So now this is why the piece is special to me. I was a high school student, and I was lucky enough to be accepted into the National Symphony Orchestra Summer Music Institute in the summer of 2010, and the other trumpeter there was Mr. Tim McCarthy. We didn't know each other, but became fast friends, and we still are, clearly. We were thrown together in a chamber group in a brass quintet, and we were told to play the Bozza Sonatine, which was at the limit, if not beyond, our technical abilities at the time. But we practiced furiously for 4 weeks, and we performed the Bozza Sonatine right here on the Millennium stage 13 years ago. Don't go looking, it's no longer in the archives. The next piece is by a Czech composer, Karel Husa, born in Prague in 1921 in, at the time, Czechoslovakia. His musical influences included Janáček, Bartók, Stravinsky, Schoenberg, so you can reasonably expect that his music will be a little angular and jagged, although still very much influenced by the folk song tradition, although his idea of a folk song might not be exactly what you think. The way he frames it, it's going to be surrounded by a little more crunchy chords and textures. I think it's still very beautiful, and we've had a lot of fun putting it together. He originally wrote this piece for large brass ensemble and percussion. 10 years later, he changed his mind and decided to arrange it for just 5 brass players, so he condensed all of that into a much smaller configuration. As a result, we have millions of notes to play, and we plan to play all of them. Please enjoy Karel Husa's Divertimento in 4 movements.
Thank you so much for everything. It's so nice to get to play for people again. It's so nice to get to play chamber music for people. It's something that brass players love to do. We don't often have a lot of opportunity to do it. So just thank you for being a great audience. We're coming up to the last piece on the program, and you've been able to kind of venture through a couple of different genres in brass music with us today. But this last piece will be kind of our classic piece. We don't really have the library that the strings and the winds have, as we've mentioned before. So brass chamber music's only really been around for about 100 years. And one of the kind of leaders for us is a composer named Victor Ewald, who wasn't just like a musician or a composer. He was a scientist, he was an engineer. He actually did some really incredible advances for concrete, believe it or not. But he loved brass instruments, and I think he was surrounded by brass players since traditionally, historically, brass players were more blue-collar people. These are kind of rough and tumble instruments, and I think the group of us are the same. So, anyway, this piece is his third quintet. He wrote 4 quintets. He published 3 while he was alive, and the 4th kind of came about as discovery later. And this quintet is probably his most sizable. It's the one that really is the most complete for me. It's the most mature. But it's a piece that I learned in high school and played in college and played as a professional. And I think a lot of times we look at music that maybe high schoolers or younger people play, or early music that might be a little bit more simplistic, and maybe kind of look down on it a little bit. But this is great music, and we love this music, and I think it's beautiful and it's incredible, and it actually shows the versatility of this ensemble. It shows the versatility of the repertoire, and I think it's just a complete image of the capacity for chamber music, for brass chamber music. So Victor Ewald's 3rd quintet, it's in 4 movements, and thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us at Millennium Stage. For more information about upcoming shows, please check out the Kennedy Center website or Facebook page. At this time, we ask that you please head to the back of the seating area. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy